What up, Bulls Nation? It's a fresh week. We've got a live CHGO Bulls coming up for y'all right around the corner. On today's show, the Bulls officially signed Yuki. Yuki Mania is here. Also, speaking of guards, Josh Giddey, still no contract. What's the latest? Brett Siegel of Clutch Points just gave us some recent intel, and speaking of, more on that. Is anybody in a Bulls jersey on this roster right now still a trade candidate through the late offseason? We're going to talk about all of that next. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome into the CHGO Bulls podcast. Coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck, Bulls_Peck. That is Big Dave. Bow! BNWL Sports. Will the Go Gottlieb. Perfectly coiffed. Will_Gottlieb. And Queen of the Controls, one and only Katie W. What up, Katie?
Hi.
Welcome to the official beginning of NBA Dog Day Summer, y'all.
Yay!
The first full week post NBA Summer League. Mm-hmm. Congrats to the champs. I want to say Charlotte Hornets.
Charlotte is correct.
There you go. Entering that echelon of the true Denzel Valentine Summer League greats.
I'm not clapping for that.
Con Knipple.
Con Knipple MVP.
21-8.
That's right.
Matt, I feel like you mentioned that this morning in our Slack, and you just mentioned it now. Are you excited about this being the Dog Days?
Yes.
Why?
Because
New Day rocks.
Look, first of all, the Dog Days are here, and this is now our fourth late summer doing CHGO Bulls. Dave, you and I also know this from our Locked On days.
Yeah.
There aren't that many people in the coming months who are going to be doing Bulls Talk 5 days a week.
Very true.
We are.
Yeah.
And that is why I always like this time of year, because even on days when there's nothing theoretically to talk about, we will be here talking about it with y'all, our fellow diehard Bulls fan sickos, 5 days a week. Yeah. And I take pride in that. I really do. Okay. Because I know that there is a demand out there for it from everyone who is literally hanging out in our chat right now on a Monday afternoon. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all.
That's a great point. They are demanding it. That's why they're here. They would like to hear this talk. They would like to hear your dulcet tones and see the quaff. So, yeah, we're going to give you what you want.
And then
that was a better answer
like,
than I was anticipating.
Well, also selfishly, y'all might notice that one of the three of us, somewhere between August and early September, is going to be taking a little time off.
Yes.
Which is the time of year where it makes the most sense.
Literally all three of you have PTO coming up. What are you talking about?
Including you.
All four of us have PTO coming up.
Everybody will be taking time off.
That's what I just said. You might see only two of the three of us.
Okay.
Like the stream if you feel like we deserve a vacation.
And I also I feel like August, like late July, August, September, Bulls Talk and our shows, all of them have Studio B vibes, which is just
okay. I love a Studio B vibe.
We're here talking Bulls, whatever you want to talk about, but things might get a little crazy, might get a little sidetracked.
Oh, yeah, I'm all for that.
Because we're doing 5 Bulls podcasts that are an hour long in months when there is nothing happening.
And it's true, but we'll be here to do it, and they'll still be very entertaining and informative shows.
Yeah.
So, and we'll go off the rails, but be right back on the road.
I'm having news withdrawals. I want more action.
Withdrawals?
I want more action. I want more trades. I want more drafts. I want more free agents.
CP3 going back to the Clippers didn't do it for you?
I need more.
Marcus Smart back in L.A.? Or in L.A. for the first time, I should say.
Once we get Giddey in, well, there's still a little bit of news to be had.
Yeah.
There's still a little bit of news to be had.
There's news that we're
big news
waiting
I'm a news
on,
guy. What can I say?
Which is Giddey. And we'll talk a little bit about what the latest updates are there.
Pro news.
But
speaking of Studio B vibes, I wanted to point out that Matt did something very Studio B today as he walked in and handed me the piece of paper that is on the set today. And
I was going to wait the whole hour-long show and see if you noticed.
I'm too jazzed about it.
You're too
Goat hasn't
giddy
noticed
about
it yet. I'm too giddy about it. But, yeah, Will hasn't noticed it yet, so I wanted to point that out. It's in front of the trophy.
Mm-hmm. What did you do, Will?
I don't know.
It's
What
in
am I
front of the
Leaning up
trophy.
neatly against the front of that Larry O'Brien trophy that's currently wearing the Bulls bucket
He
hat.
literally moved the trophy when he
Oh,
sat
the
down,
qua-
too,
oh,
and he
I see
didn't
what
even
it
see
is.
it.
Okay.
Something in front. I mean, it's totally blocked by the hat.
Yeah.
We'll see that.
Very well.
What
That's
is
a
it?
good
Can
point.
Can I
Yeah.
pick it up?
Yeah. Get up there.
I'm pretty sure of what it is. Yeah.
Oh God.
I brought my word of the day calendar to the office.
I'm happy you guys are happy.
Dude, it was like one of the greatest things ever. It's tearing away the days that I've been
That
out of
is
town when I got back
subjective.
home from Vegas. My word of the day calendar. Shout out Ma. She gets me one every year.
Ma,
I love learning new words.
meatloaf.
I love remembering words that I had learned at some point and then try and use. And I saw the quaff staring me in the face.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
We really don't talk enough about my hair on this program.
I know.
We really don't.
Let us know in the
We
comments
should bring
if
it up
you
more.
agree. We don't talk about the quaff enough.
I like how when I started talking like about this, because again, I apologize. This was all my fault.
Correct.
But I like when I first started talking about this, and you were like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" You would look at me all the time, and then you would tell me your parents would hit you up like, "He's always talking about your hair. What's going on?" With
true.
that?" Like, hey, it's a quaff. Like, have y'all not seen how spectacular it looks and how amazing it is? Like, you know, just showing you that love, man. But then I know that GOAT isn't about that life. You don't want to hear all that stuff.
No,
man.
I want this to be an audio only podcast.
Those days are gone, man. I mean, some people still
Dang
do
it.
it the old-fashioned way, audio only, and shout out to them.
Shout
But
out. Shout
then-
out Bulls GOAT.
Then you couldn't see the quaff, couldn't see the gams.
And I feel like that would
This
be
is true.
A-okay.
You'll be fine with that.
I would be fine with it.
Okay. Okay.
But this pays the bill, so we'll do it. We'll do it with a
yeah.
smile on our face.
That's true about that. Yeah.
Sports Chicago style said, can't talk about the hair while being lost in the eyes.
I never said that, GOAT. Can't put that one on me, dog.
We really are in dog days mode.
That's what I'm
already.
saying.
Off to a hot
Studio
start.
B vibes.
Goes like, get up off me.
First post-Summer League Monday, right out of the gate. It's dog days, y'all.
I'm like
These
the
are my
Jon Snow
vibes.
gif every single day when I start off. All the comments.
Dog day summer.
All these
Bulls
people
pod
who love me, get them back away from me.
Stay
I
away.
hate it. Oh,
are the true MVP. What up, Trick Daddy Dex? Nice seeing you in the chat. What up, Travis? What up,
Yay.
Ivan, Rob, Tony, everybody hanging out with us. Appreciate you. What up, Strick? What up, Julia? What up, Devin?
Hey, Julia.
What up, Fish? All right, so there is some news, Code. It actually happened on Saturday afternoon.
News.
Well, hopefully we were all enjoying our respective Saturday afternoons. And shout out to everybody on Twitter and also in our CHGO Diehard Bulls Discord channel who was asking for an emergency pod. And I asked our Bulls Slack, emergency pod? I'm only half joking. The people wanted it. At least some sickos did. But no, we saved it for today's show. Shams Charania had the big breaking news. Japanese guard Yuki Kawamura has agreed to a two-way NBA deal with the Chicago Bulls, sources told ESPN. The Bulls finalized with the deal with Kawamura's agent at Wasserman to sign the 5'8" point guard after a strong summer league. The Bulls, in their press release, making the announcement official, made it also known that in a related move, they had waived previous two-way roster spot occupant Jameer Young, who we saw drop 37 points in their second to last summer league game and then leave their summer league finale early with an injury. So Jameer Young out. Yuki, who we talked a lot about while we were out in Vegas, when we got home from Vegas and he was still putting up numbers and making highlight reel plays, about the legitimacy of the Bulls making a move to free up a spot for him and that he had earned it, Dave.
earned it, deserving of it. It's not a fluke. It's not a fluky for Yuki. It was dead serious. First when I saw it, I still remember what I told you. It was making me sad, like that first game, that everybody was just so excited, about this guy. I'm just like, oh man, another, guy that come in and Bulls fans just love because he's tough and gritty and hard work and all this and that. And I'm like, oh man, this ain't. And then just watching him from game 2 on, and I was like, wait, hold on. Like, this dude can play. Like, oh my God, this is legitimately, like, he can really, truly play that position of point guard to the point now, like, man, like, I've been saying some things like about this dude, bro. Like, I've been saying some things about him that I will unleash on here one of these days. But yeah, man, he's been brilliant. He's been amazing. Don't tell me that summer league doesn't count and does it mean anything? It damn sure means something. Like, people are getting and losing jobs in Summer League, and this is a great example of that. He earned it, and again, he was coming off the bench. That man earned a two-way coming off the bench for a Summer League team here in Chicago, man. No, it's very important. Always go out there and perform and try to play your best, and that's exactly what he did on both sides of the ball, actually, if you want to be for real about it. Like, I'm sure people think that his defense wouldn't be as good because of his size. No, when you play hard and you're getting up in people's chests and you're bothering them and you're playing those passing lanes, man, and you're fighting over picks because you know those screens were coming, and he's fighting over them, still continuing to be annoying on those guards. Like, it was just really impressive to watch him playing this way, playing this hard. It makes me excited for practices. It makes me excited for preseason, and it makes me excited for Billy Donovan and how hard his job is about to be. Because I want Yuki to make his job hard. Like, you're not going to leave me on the bench, bro. You're going to have to play me. You know you love guards. You're going to have to play me, dog. So I'm happy for him. He's earned it. He's deserved it. And shout out to him.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a bunch about this over the last week or so. I just feel like he totally earned that. He outplayed Jameer Young, who, as you mentioned, was waived in order to open up that spot for him. And yeah, I think he just like provides an element of playmaking and allows the Bulls to stay consistent with their style of play no matter what point guard is out on the court. As we know with this style, like, it is very point guard dependent in terms of getting the ball up the floor, getting people organized, and allowing the wings to get out on the wing and run and get open, whether it's the corners or just cutting towards the basket. So I think Yuki's great. I think he really earned this spot, plays incredibly hard. I do think that it's going to be a challenge for him to like get a ton of minutes at the NBA level, but even if he's just like competing against guys in practice, or whether he is, you know, and like one of the people that I talked to with the Bulls was saying, kind of confirming what we talked about the other day, which is that like he's going to help some of these other guys develop when they go down to the G League inevitably. Mm-hmm. We saw this with Modest last year. I'm sure we're going to see it again with Noah, where he's down in Windy City. Like, is there someone that can help him play the same role that he is going to play when he's up with the big team, but also still feed him the ball, still not dominate touches? And I feel like he's the kind of guard you want out there to help develop the other players. So I really like Yuki. I thought he was just like a great vibe, a great personality. You know, he like photobombed me during our interview with
Flex.
Modest.
Yeah.
And just like
say photobombed us, photobombed me.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
Us.
Yeah, shout out to him. Go cook, baby.
And yeah, I just think he really earned that spot and earned the respect of his teammates. And again, it's not just because he's like the short dude out there. It's because he's really good and he like made an impact in the ways that somebody needed to if they were going to win that spot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this was the right move for the Bulls. I think it's a smart developmental play, and maybe he does provide some impact on the NBA court at some point during the season. We all know injuries happen. To have that kind of depth of guard who can stay consistent to style, I think is really important.
And speaking of that, Mod's interview did out in Vegas. In case any of y'all out there watching right now missed it, Katie just threw the link to that in the chat, so go give that a watch after today's show. Other little detail that came out today, I believe it was today, the Bulls made an announcement with a Photoshop graphic. I saw some people in the chat talking about it already. The number 8 jersey on the set today is no coincidence from Katie, the producer extraordinaire.
Who makes
Yuki will wear number 8.
Who does nothing by accident.
Now that he has signed and it is official, as opposed to, I believe he was wearing 37 on his Summer League jersey. Mm-hmm. That is a weird thing to look at as a Bulls fan. I don't know about y'all. I did a wellness check on our dear friend Ramina earlier today. Mm-hmm. She said she is very unwell because, of course, this is the number that Zachary Atakari, or as Stacy came to call him over the years, Flight 8.
Yeah.
That was his nickname. Zach LaVine wore that Bulls number 8 jersey for 7.5 seasons.
Yeah.
And now it will be worn by Yuki.
I wanted him to wear 57 because he's 5'7". That would have been.
Oh, that's hard.
5'8", goat.
Well,
5'8".
He is listed at 5'8", but he told us that he is 5'7".
He did
so
say
I'm taking his word for it.
And also, I can't remember who said it in the chat earlier on, but that is my advice. I love that Yuki's here. Yuki Mania is going to draw a whole new population of Hoops fans to being Bulls fans, or at least temporary Bulls fans, or at least I'm here to cheer on Yuki. Therefore, I'm here watching the Bulls. Anybody who is new to CHGO Bulls because of Yuki, welcome. We're glad you're here. Nobody needs to buy a new jersey. Nobody needs to buy a new jersey. I'm sure they're printing the Yuki jerseys already. Just get a good piece of tape. No shade to Levine. Just get a good piece of tape, y'all.
No, go buy a new jersey.
Don't need to buy a new jersey.
Go buy the jersey.
Don't need to buy a new jersey.
It's like when
unless you buy it from Yuki directly. Give him all the profits. Don't give it to Jerry. We got to knock out our first ads. We'll come back on the other side with the latest on Josh Giddey. Hit the like.
Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. It's your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping, a place where all kinds of visitors are welcome to explore, discover, and purchase a wide array of high-quality hydroponics in the city. It's your one-stop shop for all your cannabis needs. Sunnyside has an expertly curated menu with over 100 strains to choose from, plus easy online ordering and in-store pickup. It's Illinois' favorite dispensary with locations in the city. Shout out Wrigleyville and River North, all the way out to the suburbs, Champaign and South Beloit. Stand up. If you're starting out, Sunnyside has expert guidance and brands that we know that you will love, like Good News, shout out Peck, and Mindy's. Oh, they got you covered. Wellness Advisors Staff Picks Collection says, guess what? They are legit. So you better believe it. Visit sunnyside.shop, right buys every day, including 50% off your first 3 online orders. Promo code HICHGO. Use it at checkout to qualify. And for existing users, use that promo code CHGO50 for 50% off for one Cresco brand item. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. Bright buys every day. Only for 21 and over or Illinois Med card holders.
Today's show also brought to you by Mando. It's hot. It's about to get hotter the next few days in Chicago. That means you need a deodorant you can rely on in these summer months. What separates Mando from the rest of the deodorant out there? It is a whole body deodorant. That means, of course, you can use it in your pits, but you can also use it on your thigh folds, in your belly button, in your butt crack, even down on your feet. Feet get hot in the summertime. Mando was created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated, and Mando is clinically proven to control body odor better than shower with soap alone. Ugly fact, gentlemen, 12 hours after a shower, the average man's Grundle odor level is a 5 out of 10. That's not great. But with Mando, that Grundle odor level shrinks down to 0. Check out Mando's starter pack, perfect for new customers, coming with a solid stick with deodorant, cream tube deodorant, plus 2 free products of your choice, and free shipping on top of that. Use promo code CHGO at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com to get 20% off site-wide, plus free shipping. Support us. Tell them we sent you there. Boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. We roll along CHGO Bulls live in studio on a Monday afternoon. Hit that like button if you didn't do it during the ad break. Thanks for being here. All right, next topic. And this one is what we call taking the temp by our friends at Four Seasons. Visit fourseasonsheatingcooling.com for all the right reasons. Call 866 Four Seasons, especially now that it's freaking hot.
Yes.
Get
Not
them
2.
ACs working, y'all.
Not 3.
So
Four
what
Seasons.
is the temp of the Josh Giddey contract negotiations, y'all? It's the same temp as when we were in Vegas, which sounds crazy because no temp is like Vegas in July, but ice cold. Ice cold. Various reporting, I think it was Jake Fisher who specifically
As
said
cold as Dave's
about
child.
10 mil apart. Giddey and his crew still looking for that 30 million average annual salary figure. The Bulls offers that they have thrown their way are a lot closer to the 20 million average annual salary figures. And still no news. And it's a restricted free agent thing across the league, not just a Josh Giddey thing. There's more from Brett Siegel that we'll get to a little bit later about what's going on with Jonathan Kuminga, the Warriors restricted free agent. He still remains in limbo. Cam Thomas, another name that people keep talking about. What's going to happen with him? And there it is with Josh Giddey. So, I mean, before we dive into the latest from Siegel, I did want to touch on this first because Bobby Marks was tweeting about this over the weekend. And it's something that we've talked about more consistently the longer and longer we wait for a Giddey deal and still no deal. And that is the concept of this qualifying offer that is still lingering out there in the open seas. Marks tweeted, if you want to put that one up, Katie, 5 former first-round picks have signed a qualifying offer since 2018. Only 5 players in a 7 or 8 year span. Their next contracts outside of Miles Bridges have not been pretty. And then he lists the contracts after the qualifying offer contract was signed by those 5 players. Alex Len, who after his qualifying offer year got just 2 years, 8.5. Nerlens Noel after his qualifying year, 2 for 3.7. Rodney Hood. Shout out to that name I forgot existed.
man.
2 years, 11.7. Denzel Valentine.
Sloppy like Joe.
After playing on the qualifying offer, 2 years, 4.1. And then the lone exception of a more lucrative deal, as Mark's pointed out, 3 years for 75 for Miles
50.
Bridges. Mark's also added a quote tweet of his own with a little more intel or perspective, saying the danger of signing that qualifying offer is you are constantly chasing the money turned down in an offer by your team. The positive is you become an unrestricted free agent in 2026. And go, that last note that Mark's had is something that you brought up, I think last week when we were talking about Giddey. It's like, even if the offer isn't what he wants for the Bulls on a multi-year offer, it's still sacrificing guaranteed money to take the qualifying offer instead of whatever those figures are, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if you think about, like, let's say he takes a 25, let me pull up my salary cap sheet here so I can speak
Flex.
Cap
accurately.
goat.
Let's say he starts at an average of 25 million over 5 years, 125 million total. That would start at $21.5 million next year, and it would go up by 8% annually. There could be some changes. It could be a flat deal. It could be a descending deal. But if you did 8% raises, which is standard, 125 million, it would start at 21.5 million. So if he takes his qualifying offer, he's sacrificing $10 million next year with nothing to show for it on the back end. Now, he gives himself the opportunity to sign for much more, in theory, next year as an unrestricted free agent. But, I mean, right now you look at the situation that's out there, and there's not a lot of teams that can afford to outcompete the Bulls. There aren't any teams that can outcompete the Bulls in terms of what they can offer Josh Giddey as a restricted free agent. Now, next year, there will be more teams that have money, but right now there's it's not just that nobody can beat the Bulls. It's that there doesn't seem to be a lot of interest in him coming from other teams in general. Like, we've heard the Suns as a possible sign-and-trade suitor for Jonathan Kuminga, but them not having the right assets. Like, there isn't even anybody who's interested in signing Giddey as a sign-and-trade. So I think that should say something about his market value, not just in terms of the dollar amount, but in terms of, is he somebody that these other teams want to sign? Now, I'm of the opinion that the Bulls should bring him back. I think he was a very good player for the Bulls down the stretch, and I think that we're at a point now where the train has already left the station. Like, they have to figure out what they have in these guys, and it's on the Bulls to get him on a fair market value contract that can be tradable down the line in case they want to trade him. Not saying they should or they need to, but that's the kind of deal that indicates that you have value, is if it is a tradable contract for positive value. And so I think it's just on the Bulls here to hold the line, get the number that they want, and realize that, like, for Giddey, this is still a lot of money that you're adding to your qualifying offer this year. But then on top of it, you have 4 or 5 more years of guaranteed, I should say 3 or 4 years of guaranteed money beyond next year, that there is no guarantee he would get that, even in a marketplace where there's more suitors and more money on the table next year. So I think that's why everything we've heard so far is that eventually these two parties will come to a deal. It's just like there doesn't seem to be any rush from Giddey's camp and from his perspective to come down, and there's no reason to do that if you're the Bulls.
Yeah. There's no reason on either side. It's no reason to rush.
What's the worst that could happen if
Exactly.
if Giddey continues to hold firm? Like,
Exactly.
the offer's not going to go anywhere. It's just maybe they come up, and if that doesn't happen, like, so be it.
Is there a actual deadline that they need to get this signed by?
I don't know if there's an actual deadline. I think at a certain point, like, he is on the qualifying offer, right? So that would be probably the start of the year. I should look into that. I'm not exactly sure when that would need to happen.
The deadline did pass for the Bulls to pull the qualifying offer, which they did not do.
Okay.
Right?
And that would just make him unrestricted right now.
Which would benefit the
doesn't-
Bulls in no way unless they literally just wanted to watch Josh Giddey walk away.
And it doesn't, I guess the only reason it would benefit the Bulls is, like, a lot of teams are hesitant to offer players restricted offer sheets because of the boogeyman of the incumbent team matching it.
Sure.
And so if the Bulls say, all right, we're going to pull your qualifying offer, you're free to sign wherever you want, the Bulls could still offer him more money, but other teams could swoop in and say, without worry of the Bulls matching it, we'll give you this amount of money. Problem is, that amount of money is not even as much as what the Bulls can give. So Obviously, that deadline has already passed, but the Bulls are just in control here, and there's no reason for them to relent other than to just like give him what he wants, but that's not like a real business matter.
No.
I'll also say like a lot of times there's like people in the camp of like hold the line, give him $1 more than the next highest bidder and he'll take it or leave it. And like, I don't think it's quite so black and white, like business over everything as some people make it out to be. I also don't think that there's really anything to worry about in terms of like, he's just going to walk or he's just going to take the qualifying offer. And that's kind of what we're talking about. So for me, there's like not a lot of risk from Giddey's side of them wanting to leave or taking the qualifying offer. And there's not a lot of risk from the Bulls perspective of giving him less than what he wants. And so that's why this is going to happen at some point. It's just a staring contest right now.
Yeah. Nobody's blinking and nobody should.
Yeah. I mean, you should blink. Your eyeballs will dry if you don't. But in this particular negotiation, I am glad that AK has not blinked yet.
Yeah.
If you need to do this, AK, just, hold them open.
Yeah.
Or I'll happily come and, hold your eyeballs open for you. Don't blink.
Don't let Matt near your eyeballs.
I'll be so careful. I'll be so careful.
I'm like, ooh, my back.
Oops. The other, I did notice that on one of his recent, not today's, but I think the second most recent episode of the Zach Lowe Show, his new pod, he started talking about getting some of the restricted, and he did say, this is just me throwing ideas out into the wind. He said, I'll tell you that Patrick Williams contract, 5 years, 90. I'll say Giddey 4 years, 95, 90 and $1. He shouldn't take less than 90.
Yeah.
I don't think he's getting the $30 million he wanted. 4 years, 100 would be an even 25. I'll take a slight under on that. So there's Zach Lowe's best guess. And again, even as somebody who's not in love with the long-term Giddey plan, 490, I could be talked into that.
Ooh,
100. Even better.
Yeah.
Even better. And again, it just seems like we get closer and closer to numbers more resembling somewhere between 20 to 25 annually.
Yeah.
As opposed to 25 to 30. Just sounds like
that's fair.
The Bulls have no reason or need to pay him that. So why would they?
Yeah.
They have no reason to give him even 25. So
exactly.
We're at a point now. We're at a point now where it's like giving him 26 would just be unnecessary. Again, I don't think it's going to kill the Bulls. Like $30 million, there's just no reason to go that high. It would be there's no upside for the Bulls in doing that.
Yeah.
Even 25 right now, like that's probably the highest I would go.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that like 30 would be a terrible deal, but it's just like the market is dictating that there's no way he gets more than 22 from another team. Mm-hmm. And if the Nets want to give him $22 million, the Bulls are going to match that and have, be very happy about it because they got the right deal. So 25 is more than necessary. And that's why I feel like it may not even be that high. Below 25, I think would be really solid. 25, I would be totally fine with. Above 25 just seems unnecessary.
Well, and I saw somebody in the comment talking about some specific figure that was, quote, insulting. And that is something I keep seeing Bulls fans bring up as a reason for the Bulls not to play hardball and not use the leverage that they clearly have on their side of bring us an offer that will match.
Yeah.
Oh, can you not get one anywhere for the kind of figure that you and your agent are looking for? Cool. Back to square one at the negotiating table. It's insulting being a reason not to do it. I find to be such a silly argument. Like, yo, this is a business. The players know it's a business. The teams know it's a business. The people they hire to negotiate on both sides of that negotiating table all know it's a business. So the whole bad feelings or bad vibes, why is it insulting to Josh Giddey to not get an offer that no one else around the NBA was throwing that figure at Josh Giddey this summer? Whatever context and for whatever reasons, no one was. So why is it insulting that the Bulls don't?
It's not insulting at all to somebody to offer you $24 million. That's not an insult. If it is, please insult me, crack all the jokes you want about me if that's going to be the case. But he's going to get paid.
Here's $24 million.
Oh, man. Keep going. You can do better. You can do better. You can do better than that.
You would say I'll take 23.
You know what I mean? 22. He's trying to outbid me out here, sir. I would take $22 million for that. All right? But he's going to get paid. He's going to get his check. He's deserving of that kind of money. but the Bulls don't have to give him all of this money right here, man. They're in the right position. If Giddey had done something and was clear part of their team and he put up all these numbers, I would get it then. But that's not the case right now. So this is where we at.
Shout out to Why So Serious, who said, CHGO, I watch the NVR show often. Algorithm took me here. I'll come visit shows, especially when Yuki does Yuki things. Shout out to you. Thanks for being here.
Shout out to the beard.
Yes, we got to take another ad break right now.
That's definitely Jokic there. He just took a screenshot of Jokic.
Love it.
Shout out to the Jokic goatee, baby.
We will come back on the other side, dive into some latest, including that reporting fresh this afternoon from Brett Siegel of Clutch Sports. Hit the like. Today's show brought to you by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric, which has been serving Chicagoland for over 50 years. Now is the time to get your AC checked out because it is hot, and Four Seasons experts are ready to help you with AC installation, maintenance, and repair. Four Seasons expert technicians ensure you always receive reliable service, and Four Seasons doesn't charge more for service during nights, weekends, or even holidays. So you can always rely on them. Save up to $4,000 on new comfort systems with Four Seasons. New AC units from $39 a month. AC furnace combos for just $57 a month. They're your trusted local experts. Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Visit FourSeasonsHeatingCooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. That's FourSeasonsHeatingCooling.com. Because Dave, for all the right reasons.
Call 866-4 Seasons. New vehicles are in store at Ray Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. And this is your chance to score a great deal at all-employee pricing plus sales event. That's a lot of P's in there. Yeah. Right now, lease a new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cam for only $399 a month for 27 months. Plus, shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. The expert team at Ray CDJR is here to help you during each step of your car shopping journey. They prioritize affordability. You know you won't overpay for a vehicle that you need. And with that raised price promise, you can shop confidently with no add-ons and no hidden fees ever. The price you see is the price you're going to pay. It's just that simple. Go check out the partner today and shop one of Chicago area's largest inventories. Don't miss out on employee pricing plus sales event for huge savings on a Ram 1500. For more information, visit Ray CDJR today on Route 12 in Fox Lake or online at raycdjr.com.
Rolling along CHGO Bulls, Monday afternoon. Peck, Big Dave, Goat, Katie, the queen of the controls, talking Giddey, and
Hit
the
the
stalemate.
like button.
Huh?
Hit the like button.
Hit the like button.
Hit the like button.
For goodness sake.
Shout out Shirtless Wonder with the
Did you have a final thought on
bucket
Giddey? I
hat
feel like
on.
I interrupted you on something.
On Giddey. Well, there were several things you interrupted me on, and
I don't know. Now I'm,
I just went ahead and
I had to get a few shots up, but now I'm kicking it back out.
I'm a shooter, Dave. I'm not a pass. I'm a shooter.
Excuse me, Dave, sorry to interrupt, but do you mind if I just snag that last slice of veggie?
The slice of veggie.
I earned a heat check on that.
Vegas callback!
You got two Vegas callbacks, man. You got the shirtless one, and now you got the slice of veggie. You got two of them.
Was it the shirtless?
Yeah,
What
the
about-
photo. Matt took you in the first one.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
I blocked that out. I thought you were talking about shirtless. Shirtless is sitting up there.
Oh, no, shirtless is doing cool stuff. That's just what he doing.
What
Doing
is?
his thing up there.
Being who he is. But Giddey, yeah, man. Nobody's doing anything wrong. I don't think anything wrong is going on Giddey's side or the Bulls side. This is exactly how it should be played until they have to actually make a deal. That's why I asked you when is the actual deadline for all of this stuff, because they got time. You don't have to do anything. I want this. I want to give you this. Well, we can negotiate up until forever. We got a whole nother month to go. Until training. I'm sure they want to get it done by then. So in my head, that would be the deadline is to get it done by training camp. So you want to be done when you get to media day. You want to have it all set up and all together. So I think by then, for me, that would be the deadline. And I'm like, if that's the deadline, you have nothing but time. Put your feet up, hang out with a kangaroo or two, do what you feel like, over in Australia, man. And the Bulls, just take your time and get the right deal for yourself. And again, for the front office and organization, make the right deal for yourself. You don't have to cave in, as Matt said. You don't have to, fall in. You just keep your eyes, don't blink at anything. You're in the driver's seat. The position of power, I'm sure it's a new thing for you right now, but it's a thing. You're in the position of power. Continue to be there right now, Chicago Bulls. You're doing a great job. And I like saying that about you guys right now, that you're actually doing a great job with this, man. So take your time. You'll come to a nice deal. And if you don't, that qualifying offer is right there. And I'll be right here if that happens. Tune in.
One of our regulars, Rob, in the chat saying, if Giddey's not signed by that next Bulls practice initiated by the players, then I will be a bit more worried right now. It's still a while away. I mean, whatever that next practice or group workout session is, whatever. This is a pretty quiet time of the offseason. Some of the players will take this opportunity to get away, take a family vacation with their families or just some downtime. But we also do know that some of them will be in the Advocate Center getting those offseason workouts in. Ayo back in the gym, Mata's back in the gym. However, also, they all are professionals. Even the younger ones, they, again, know it's a business. I don't think Giddey being around his teammates, if they do some unofficial, OTAs, as it were, NBA style, I don't think there would be any awkwardness there because they all know, because they've all been through their own various contract negotiations. They know what's what.
Sure.
I think the awkwardness will be when they get to media day and he's still not signed.
Exactly.
Then you're gonna be like,
So I'm just looking at NBA.com here, on their free agency explained page, and this is what it says about qualifying offers.
Okay.
For a player to become a restricted free agent, his team must submit a qualifying offer to the player between the day after the last game of the NBA Finals and June 29th. That happened. The qualifying offer is standing offer for a 1-year guaranteed deal, which becomes a regular contract if the player decides to sign it. This ensures that the team does not gain the right of first refusal without offering a contract themselves. So basically, if he signs the QO, he becomes unrestricted.
Okay.
Otherwise he is restricted. If the player is coming off of a regular, no, I'm skipping that part. Qualifying offers expire October 1st, but can be extended. So if it doesn't get done by October 1st, they'll either have to extend it longer to come to an agreement, or if the extension of the qualifying offer cannot go past March 1st, if the deadline passes and the qualifying offer is neither withdrawn nor accepted, the player continues to be a restricted free agent. Teams and players are free to negotiate a new contract after the qualifying offer expires, as the deadline only affects the player's ability to accept his qualifying offer. Players can always accept the qualifying offer and play the following season under its terms. This is sometimes done to ensure unrestricted free agency in the following offseason. So basically, it sounds like they can take this into the season if they want, and he's just on that contract. And then if I don't know what would happen on March 1st. I guess he would just become unrestricted in that following summer. But it sounds like they can. So maybe this would be crazy. I can't imagine that this would happen or has ever happened. But maybe they just let this go into the season for a few months and then decide to sign something during the season. I don't know if that's possible.
So
it sounds like it might be.
That would mean that he was essentially playing on that qualifying offer.
That would mean that he is playing on the qualifying offer. He just hasn't accepted it.
Hasn't accepted it.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's funky. That is a weird limbo contract situation that I would then be like, well, this is awkward.
I can't imagine that would happen.
That it gets that far.
That it gets that far. But I also kind of think that might make sense.
Yeah.
What are our concerns about Giddey? We don't know if the final 25 games of the season were legit. So what if he comes out and plays up until February 1st of the trade deadline?
Okay.
And he's averaging 22, 9 and 9, and the Bulls are in 4th place. Now we are looking at a much bigger contract. So maybe that's the prove it part. But that sounds like they could still get that done during the season.
Mm-hmm. Did you mean the East or the Central Division?
I mean, it's
because either way, that's still too high.
It's a hypothetical.
This dude, boy.
But the thing
Come
is,
on.
Dog days, baby.
Who are they better than in the Central Division this season?
Dog days.
I was just saying.
Man. Go.
Let's say they're in 4th. What? Of what? Sorry, I didn't mean.
Is it crazier to say they're in 4th or Giddey dropping 22, 9 and 9?
that's what he was averaging.
Giddey's going to be doing that, and the Bulls are going to be in 4th. Both things can be true. Oh, God.
I'm just saying, it sounds like they can take it into the season.
Yeah, okay.
If they extend the if they not extend it as in offer it, but extend the
Right.
deadline as in push the deadline back.
Got you. Okay, so with that, then let's get to this. The very latest Clutch Points reporter Brett Siegel just dropped this earlier today with some more intel on Giddey and then some other names for the Bulls who could still maybe or maybe not be in trade talks going on late into the offseason across the league.
Okay.
So let's start with Giddey. And he had this to say, and this probably looks pretty familiar. No progress has been made between Josh Giddey and the Bulls on a new deal in restricted free agency. Two sides met at Summer League, where Giddey and his camp made it clear they want a contract to that of Jalen Suggs, 5 years, $150, Emmanuel Quickley, 5 years, $162, and have not come down from their $30 million annual average value asking price. The Bulls have not offered more than a 4-year contract in the $20 million per range. However, the two sides are expected to reunite and negotiate and find common ground on a new deal this summer. No team outside of Chicago has expressed legitimate interest in Giddey due to his contract demands. And AK, if you're listening, I hope that last sentence is the only part you heard.
Facts. Facts, Matt.
Bing,
Facts.
bong, boom.
Yeah, that's the only thing that matters in all of this right now is there's no interest from anybody else out there. It is the Bulls and it is Josh Giddey. You guys want to date, you want to go out with each other. It's Ross and it's Rachel. Just trying to get through all the muck and mire so you can be standing outside of Central Perk with the rain coming down. You know what I mean? So you come in and get your love on. That's all. Take your
Wild
time,
card
though.
scenario, AK calls AK from his work phone to his personal phone and organizes a deal to trade Josh Giddey for Josh Giddey. So that he can say that there was other demand somewhere else in the league before signing the deal. Hello, AK? Yes, this is AK. I've got an offer you can't refuse. That Josh Giddey guy? Yes.
He's really good, right?
What do you want
Yes,
for
he
him?
is.
I'll take it.
Oh, man.
Doug Days!
Oh, my gosh, yo. That could be the case. That could be something. But, yeah, man, don't rush. Take your time. You don't need to make this move out here. Continue to make these good signings. I didn't really truly agree with the Lonzo trade just because you didn't get assets back. But in general, this offseason hasn't been a bad one for the Chicago Bulls and the moves I've seen them make, including the draft picks I've seen them get. So they've been doing it so far so good. You know what I mean? It's still going to be bumbly and stumbly on the road, but so far so good.
Can I push back on that?
Sure.
The idea that the Bulls offseason hasn't been a bad one is just because they haven't done anything.
Hey, Katie, they signed Trey Jones.
The bar,
How dare you?
The bar is in hell, and
Sure.
they're clearing it. And, I just don't want to clap for them because they're clearing the bar that's in hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no applause or anything like that.
for
But
sure.
I got to give them love for, actually not trying to eat food and actually not getting it all over themselves. Actually, getting to it. You did that. You got the food in your mouth.
There
Good
is an
for you.
alternate universe where we are already weeks removed from a Josh Giddey deal getting signed and it being for 5 years and 150 or something
Yeah.
close to that.
It's
I'm
true.
not-
That could have happened.
That's what I'm saying.
But Katie, lowest
the
of
bar
bars.
is super duper low. But they are clearing it where I've seen them trip and fall and bust their whole face
Yes.
on it
I do
many a
think-
time.
But there's something to be said. I mean, I've heard people make this argument before, and I don't disagree, but I also think, we spent months agonizing about the Bulls are going to do this. The Bulls are going to do this. And, I do think you have to give them credit for not doing the dumb thing.
They didn't do it.
Yeah, that, they didn't make a bad decision is not the same as they did a bunch of things that are great, but it's also, they stopped digging. You have to stop digging in order to get yourself out of the hole.
Right.
So, I do think, and it's the same thing with, drafting Modest. It was the obvious pick at the time.
Yeah.
But, they didn't do a dumb thing. They did the right thing. And, we can't always say that about this team.
But
so,
I could argue that they're currently doing a dumb thing by having Vooch on the team. I could argue that they did a dumb thing.
they can't trade Vooch. There's nowhere for
But
Vooch.
they could have in
I
the
was
past.
told they laid the groundwork at the trade deadline to get a Vooch
could
trade
have
done this summer.
They could have gotten more for Lonzo if they traded him at the deadline. So, I'm not giving them nothing. They don't get any credit for this. Just because they didn't trip and fall doesn't mean that I'm giving them credit for walking correctly.
Yeah,
You're
remember
not
that,
running,
babies.
you're not jumping, you're not skipping. You're just straight up walking.
Yeah.
But that's progress.
That's progress. It is.
I tend to agree with Katie.
It is progress.
What are we
I
giving them
get-
credit for?
I get that. I just
especially
think-
on
No,
the
she's
heels.
not wrong.
Especially on the heels of what Bulls fans having to be forced to learn about another secret extension for the members of the front office. And we've sat here and said, what do they do to deserve it? Well, we didn't trip over a rake and have it smack us in the face today.
I'm just saying, if
After
you're
doing
going
it
to
many
complain about them doing a bad thing, you can't also complain about them not doing the bad thing. Like,
There's a difference between not complaining and not giving them credit.
Bingo.
No, I think. Well, I don't think it's quite so black and white, but yeah, I mean, I think they're not doing anything that is damaging. That's that's a good thing.
But that's because they're not doing anything.
It's
They're
a good
stuck.
thing. It's also not a bad thing. But you see what I'm saying? Like those
Yeah.
I'm with you.
those are two separate things.
How often has AK not doing anything, therefore it's not a bad thing, actually been a bad thing because AK is sitting on his hands or waiting too long or
But in this case, they're holding out
frozen
from doing
by
a bad
fear
thing.
of doing the wrong thing or a wrong thing.
In this case, it's that they are not doing a bad
Like
thing.
in this
Agreed.
case of Josh Giddey,
Right.
we all agree that they're doing this the right way.
I
correct?
agree. Yes.
Okay,
for sure.
well, I'm giving
In
you
this
credit for
particular
doing it
scenario.
the right way.
I'm
and
just- yes.
if they give
That's-
him 26, 27 million at this point, like I would be very critical of that. I don't think there's any reason.
Yeah, then
to
I'm
do
gonna
that.
get on them. Like, right.
But
He
for
walk
where
away
we
with
are-
30, we gonna come on here and snap.
And so, yeah, like that can always change with new information. But I do think.
But
Yeah,
this process is.
and I was not a fan of
the right way.
the Lonzo Ball trade. Like, I'm not saying everything
I'm
was
not.
great or perfect. I just think in this instance, like,
Isaac Okoro.
it's been the right approach.
We gotta spend some time on Isaac Okoro, too.
Dude,
We haven't
I
spent a lot of
today
time on
was
Isaac
like, I
Okoro.
forgot Isaac Okoro was here.
Yeah. Shout out to my guy Bob. We had him on. talking about it. We ain't
Fighting
spent a
P-Will
lot of
for
time.
minutes. Here we go.
Yeah. We gotta spend some time on him, bro.
Lord. Okay, but yeah, generally, I think Katie brought up a valid point, and it's one I tend to agree with. Like, I am never quick to give them praise for not screwing up because
I guess-
all it does is perpetuate a low bar. We know that when it comes to AK's
Yeah.
employees, it's a low bar. It doesn't have to be that low of a bar for fans, and we should always voice that when we feel like it.
I agree with that. And I also think the counter to my point is the not taking the Derek Queen trade from the Pelicans. Like, what they did was take a player that at the time I thought was a good pick. I still think it was a fine pick.
Yeah.
But it's the opportunity cost of not doing the better thing that therefore makes this a damaging thing, even though it's not in and of itself a damaging thing. Like none of these individual instances are actually in a vacuum. It's in context based on what the offers were out there that they didn't take, what offer was out there that they did take, and the other moves that are happening around them by other teams and their own moves. And so I definitely hear that point, but I also think at the same time we should be pleased with the way they're handling these negotiations and the way that they are, not like they could have kept DeMar DeRozan and Caruso and never traded them. Like they haven't done
God.
like everything the worst possible outcome, which again is not very high bar, but
Katie?
It's not a high bar at all.
I think like I am happy with how they're handling Giddey, but Giddey is not the whole offseason. Like there were more moves that could have been made that should have been made at the deadline that we discussed at length at the deadline. Like it's one thing where I can be content with how they're handling the Giddey negotiations and
Yeah.
also be very not content with everything else they've done, which is nothing.
Right.
Like they signed Trey Jones. That was a no-brainer move. We already knew it was happening. They signed Yuki again. Like that is a no-brainer. He balled out for you. Like there is no craftsmanship. There is no I don't want to say no talent, but like there is no creativity here.
Boom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like
All of that is
yes, waiting on Giddey is the right thing to do, but doing nothing else, like you get no claps from me for that.
yeah, I hear that. I also would just say that like I think this is probably an offseason where and AK even said it, like there was not going to be a lot going on this offseason. I
Right.
think if we're having the same conversation next year, then the lack of moves will be much
it's,
worse.
Yeah. It was a tight, difficult cap maneuvering kind of summer for all of the NBA teams, and so that would shrink what could be done. Most people stayed with their current teams on new deals. A couple of creative trades got done. We saw a couple of older vets on big money get buyouts to move on from their teams. So, especially some of the most recent moves, with whether it be Beal or Lillard or whatever else. But so, like, yes, quiet offseason to be expected. Also remember, AK put himself in this position with all of the moves that led here. And also not entirely his fault because whatever moves he was trying to make or maybe creatively thinking about doing, we all know that there is one hardline rule he can never break, which is, AK, however you want to try and build this roster of 9 to 10 good guys, great, good luck, stay under the luxury tax. That's a hamstring. That's a really annoying thing to have to deal with. And so that part I will always say, not AK's fault. He took the job. But Katie, speaking of coulda, shoulda, wouldas from the trade deadline, let's now circle back to some other stuff that was in that Brett Siegel report from Clutch Points, because it wasn't just about Giddey. He also did have a similar report on Jonathan Kuminga's situation that we've heard from a lot of different places recently, including Jake Fisher for the Stein line, which is, Kuminga, his camp were maybe trying to orchestrate a sign and trade to the Bulls, but Bulls are dealing with their Giddey thing, so not happening, at least not right now. Siegel also mentioned that the whole Vooch to the Warriors thing that was reported on a few different ways leading up to the trade deadline and then didn't happen. They went the Jimmy Butler route instead. Not much there, if anything, there anymore. Zach Lowe said a week ago, I don't know if any of that was actually there to begin with, or if it was minimal and overstated. So nothing new there on the Vooch Warriors front. Siegel also, and this part is interesting because we've also heard this from local reporting, Ayo Dosunmu is a key name to keep an eye on, not just for the Warriors, who have been interested in him previously, but other teams around the league as well. There's been plenty of interest in Dosunmu as he enters the final year of his contract, which, by the way, is 3 years, 21. He'll be making, I believe, 7.5 on this final year of it. But we heard, I think it was Casey Johnson had like a tweet on something recently that was like, just, for what it's worth, I've been hearing more of Ayo's name recently than Coby White's name recently, as far as trade talks, who's calling the Bulls and who they're calling them about. And it sounds like similar whispers were going around Vegas in Summer League the last couple of weeks. So that is interesting to me as we talk about Josh Giddey and this team's guard rotation and who stays and who goes and who's getting a new contract and who's not. Dave, what do you make about the fact that we are once again hearing Ayo's name?
I think you're going to continue to hear Ayo's name. I don't think it's something that's going to stop. Because he's super valuable to, as I said, he fits on any team in the NBA, any of the 29 teams. 2, his contract is immaculate. Like, it will fit well anywhere. And 3, he's on the final year. You know what I mean? So all of these things just mean, hey, your name is going to continue to come up. Like, if he was a bum dude, like, you wouldn't even hear this at all. But he's really good at basketball and knows that he can fit in with a squad. So, yeah, it's kind of similar to how Alex Caruso's name and what we were hearing was being reported, what teams were offering Alex Caruso. Those were multiple teams coming in trying to get that young man. So, Ayo Dosunmu is going to be a guy that I think as the year goes, until the Bulls make a decision on him, whether they're going to sign this young man, if they sign him, it'll go away, obviously. But if they are okay with his name continuing to be out there and be on the trading block like that, you're going to continue to hear this stuff. Like, so get ready for this, like all season long. If this continues to go on, this is what it's going to be, man.
Well, and I think also, like we mentioned, Okoro, I feel like he is in some ways an Ayo replacement just because he's. Oh, wow. I think people are thinking about him as he's like a forward. I think he's more of like a guard forward, like a 2-3 than a 3-4.
He is. Agreed.
So I think he's going to be defending point of attack, and I think that's. I mean, if I'm guessing, I don't know this, but I'm guessing he's going to be starting. Assuming Ayo. Well, I don't know. Maybe Ayo will start. But like, yeah, I think it'll be Coby, Giddey, and Okoro, with Okoro guarding the lead ball handler a lot of times, and that's a role that Ayo has also taken on. So not saying that like Okoro coming in completely means that Ayo is like not part of this team anymore. I don't think that's the case. I think they can play together. And I wouldn't be just like getting rid of Ayo by any means. But I also think it gives them the latitude to, if they're getting really good offers, we can feel okay about this because we already have his replacement in-house. Now, the question is like, what would you be looking for in Ayo trades? Are you trying to attach him to Patrick to move off of him? Are you trying to get draft picks now because you didn't get them for Lonzo or for Alex? Or are you still trying to bring in, distressed former top 10 picks that have fallen out of favor with their current team and have questions about whether they can play in the playoffs? That seems to be their MO. Who knows if they'll continue to go that route. But I think the question is just like, what are you really looking for in an Ayo trade? Like, to me, when you think about like what this team is relative to Arturas's vision, it's like they've got the young core, they've got their guys that they want to build with, they've got Giddey, I think it's still TBD on whether Coby really, from the front office perspective, really fits into that. But you've got Modest, you've got Essengay. You need a center. Maybe they use him to shop for a center. Maybe they use him to attach to Patrick and they look for a center that way, or maybe they just want to get off of Patrick. I don't see the value in just like getting rid of Ayo because you got to pay him. Like he's too good and he's too important to the team. And I feel that way about Coby too. Like there has to be really good value out there. And I think if there was, a deal might already be made.
And that's, I'm still trying to read through the fog on how exactly this team feels about Coby White. Because we heard AK say when he joined the broadcast team of one of their summer league games, and paraphrasing here, but pretty close, as far as I can remember, is like something along the lines of like, we want Coby and Josh, aka Coby White and Josh Giddey, to both be in Chicago for a long time, when he was answering some question about the Bulls' backcourt and what they saw from them at the latter stages of last season. AK's publicly stated it. I think he stated something similarly in his season-ending press conference. We love Coby. We want him around for a long time. We also are all aware of the elephant that's the other elephant in the room, because the biggest in front of your face elephant right now is the Josh Giddey contract, because he is not under contract.
Right.
The other one is Coby White, who is due for a much bigger payday than the standard extension raise he would get on his current deal, which he has vastly outperformed through the first 2 years of said deal. So, to me, that's why the Ayo whispers make some sense, but also at the same time, I'm skeptical. Because if, look, these are both useful players, maybe the Bulls see Coby as more of a quasi-star than Ayo. Ayo, I would certainly say, more of a useful two-way player. No knock on Coby's defense. We've talked about it plenty. AK also, in that same interview, was talking about establishing a defensive identity. And Isaac Okoro and making that trade being about defensive identity. Like, okay, whatever, Lonzo Ball, pretty good defensive player, but way to go with that trade, AK. But defensive identity would lean more towards Ayo staying than Coby staying, right?
Yeah. To
me, that's why, again, fog. When I try and figure out what exactly AK is thinking when it comes to Coby White, Ayo Dosunmu, and their respective futures on this team, fog. No idea.
And that's why I think it's going to last into the season as it's going to go, because of that fog. You're just going to keep walking through it kind of blind, and teams are just going to continue to call and try to find out and feel out and see what they feel about this team here in Chicago and what they feel about Ayo Dosunmu. So until that clarity that you're talking about actually happens, until that fog gets cleared, man, since October, get ready. It's all I'm saying. Just don't be surprised when you continue to hear trade rumors and things like that. Or when I went on today, just to go on Google and see some stuff about the Bulls and said, Ayo Dosunmu has been traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. Oh, word? Straight up? You're going to see this. It's going to happen. You know what I mean? So just be ready for it, man. It's coming.
And again.
Or continuing, I should say.
I just wonder, what kind of offers would be out there? I think Coby is better than the other kind of scoring guards that have been moved this offseason, but the market for these guys, and we've talked about it with regards to Giddey, you're worth what the market will pay you.
Sure.
And the market has not been kind to the small primary scoring guard out there. Again, I think Coby's better, but CJ McCollum, Jordan Poole, swap. I mean, that's just not.
Yeah.
There's no value to either team in that. Jordan Clarkson got bought out. Bradley Beal got bought out because nobody wanted him. There's just so many of these guys that have not really moved the needle in terms of major draft capital moving back and forth. And I think as the league trends towards two-way play, as it trends towards size, Coby has an advantage there because he's big and he's strong, and he can defend. But I just don't think there's going to be that multi-pick offer out there. And as a result of that, I don't think that the Bulls are going to be really eager to move him, because they would really need to be blown away in order to do so. But it just doesn't really feel like a lot of teams are going to be willing to give up that kind of draft capital, especially when they know they've got to pay him.
Why does it have to be draft capital? I haven't seen them,
I was going to say,
draft capital.
Being blown away would be an offer of a different NBA young player with experience that AK's in love with.
Well, part of the reason why we've seen so few trades is that it's very difficult to make these one-for-one swaps where it's good player for good player.
Depends who you ask.
That's about the game.
AK's got 2 of the 4 in the last 4 years.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's just not that many moves. You see other teams, they make way more moves because it's trade draft picks for good players, or you sell your good players for draft picks. Like, that's the way the exchange rate works in the NBA. And so if you're another team that really wants Coby, you're presumably a good team, and he's like going to be a finishing piece for you to become a championship contender as, like, you know, the primary scoring guard or maybe a sixth man. I don't know what the exact role would be. But, like, if you're the Timberwolves, like, he makes a lot of sense because you want a cheap guard that can come in and complement Anthony Edwards that isn't going to break the bank. Well, the Timberwolves aren't going to be in the business of giving up a lot of good players in that same price range that can help the Bulls. Like, that's just those kind of deals are very difficult to make. And that's why I've always said, get some picks so that you can, you know, maybe you trade Coby for picks and then you use those picks and you flip them into another good player from a different team. So I think those moves are out there, but it's just, we haven't seen them really string assets together to make the next move. They haven't been thinking about it in terms of what's the move that helps me get to the next thing. It's always just like, can this guy help me right now? And I think that's probably why we haven't seen a lot of moves, and it's probably why I don't anticipate a lot of more moves.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's say they stay with the MO that they've been on, trying to get another player for another player. In this instance, do you think they'll be going for somebody younger or going for a veteran type?
I think probably younger. Like, to me, I don't know why this name just popped into my head, but like Jarris Walker, former top 10 pick, Benedict Mathurin, forher top 10 pick,
Mathurin, oh man,
has experience in the finals, right? But isn't a featured piece with their team. Their other, like, the Pacers are going to have to pay those guys pretty soon, and they may want to move them while they still can. Like, could there be a deal there where Coby goes to the Pacers, helps Nembhard run the offense while Halliburton is out, and then can also play with both of those guys when fully healthy? Now they'll have to pay Coby, and that's part of the complication there. But, like, that could be the type of trade, and I just came up with that off the top of my head. But that could be the type of trade that I could see both teams being interested in, because Coby fits with the timeline of Halliburton, Nembhard, Siakam. He can play with all those guys. He can be the lead guard in moments when he needs to. And the Bulls can add some depth, high-level draft picks who, you know, have shown some flashes, but not consistently enough to make them the featured players on their team, and would therefore be gettable right before a team has to pay them.
We'll have to pause the conversation there for today. We'll be here in case there are any more updates and intel about the Josh Giddey contract negotiation, any trade whispers still going on with the Bulls late through the offseason. We have arrived in the dog days, and the dog days are fun. And there's going to be at least one more big piece of news at some point. When? We have no idea. But in the meantime, read GOAT stuff, allchgo.com. Become a CHGO diehard so you can read all of that great reporting, thoughts, and intel from GOAT on your beloved Bulls. Follow him, Will_Gottlieb. He has not yet changed his handle to the Quaff or the _Quaff. We'll see. Maybe it's something we can do in the offseason. Follow Big Dave.
Dog days.
BAWL Sports. I'm Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls. Our tirelessly working and brilliant queen of the controls, the one and only Katie Duffy. Good takes today, Katie. I'm right there with you. Right there with you.
Wait, is it good takes because you agree? Is that what you're saying?
Of course.
Okay.
Because she's right, we agree.
I think they're good takes too.
I think they're phenomenal takes.
Even though I don't fully agree. Although I do, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Agree for it to be, good takes.
Also, we always need devil's advocate conversations around here. And it's good. It's healthy. Shout out to everybody in the chat who helps in that regard as well. Hit the like on your way out if you haven't done it yet. We appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe to that CHGO Sports YouTube channel so you get alerts every time we go live. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place, 4 p.m. Central. Talking Bulls, whatever is going on. See you then. Have a great night. See you. Be good.
Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.